Hello everyone. Madras comprises of a cluster of villages that were meticulously brought together to form the city. So when we speak about the saints of Madras, we will have to focus on these villages that form what we call Chennai now, Madras then. We will begin with the saints of Mylapore. Jnana Sambandar, one of the 63 Nayanmars and among the authors of the Devaram songs, brought to life Poombavai, the daughter of Sivanesan Chettiar, a wealthy businessman in Mylapore. Sivanesan Chettiar was an ardent devotee of Lord Shiva and having heard about the glory of Sambandar, wanted to give his daughter in marriage to him. However, Poombavai died while being bitten by a snake while plucking flowers. Since she had been dedicated to Sambandar, Sivanesan Chettiar stored her bones and ashes in a pot. Years passed. When he heard that Sambandar was visiting Tiruvettriyur, he met him and invited him to Tirumailai. On hearing about Poombavai, Sambandar asked for the ashes to be brought near the Gopuram of the Kapalishwara temple. There, he sang 10 verses denoting the months of consumption. Each verse mentioned the various festivals of the temple, asking Poombavai how she could go away without witnessing them. At the end of the 10th verse, Poombavai appeared alive from the pot. The overjoyed Chettiar asked Sambandar to accept her as his wife, but he refused, stating that he was also like her father as he had given birth to her again. Poombavai never married, and Sivanesan Chettiar built a temple for her to worship Shiva, which is today known as the Virupakshishwara temple, the temple that you see on the right side of the screen. There is a shrine for Poombavai within the Kapalishwara temple, and the tale of Sambandar bringing Poombavai back to life is enacted during the 8th day of the Panguni Brahmotsavam at the temple. Vayilar Nayanar. Vayilar is one of the 6 Nayanmars from Thondai Mandalam. He was a Velalar, an agriculturist by birth, and lived all his life in Mylapore. Vayilar, the word, is interpreted in many ways as the voiceless one, as a gatekeeper, or as a person belonging to Vayalur. According to the Periya Puranam, Vayilar is said to have worshipped Lord Shiva in a grand temple built in his mind. Sekiyar says, his mind was his temple, self-realization was a lamp lit in it, and he bathed the lingam in waters of bliss and worshipped the Lord with the elixir of supreme love. The Vayilar shrine is found opposite to Karpagambal in the Kapalishwara temple, and his Guru Puja falls on the Revati star in the Tamil month of Margazhi. Mahan Gangadhara Navalar, another saint associated with the Kapalishwara temple, was born in Tenampet in 1859. He developed spiritual seeking early in life, and through intense concentration and the grace of Lord Shiva, he became self-realized. He has sung numerous hymns on Kapalishwara, whose procession would only move forward after the Navalar completed his hymn, and this has been witnessed by devotees several times. His hymns on Kapalishwara were compiled as Shiva Prakasha Deepikai and published in the year 1899 by the Prince of Wales Press. He was a great spiritual orator and made discourses in various locations. Once, when he did not have money for a train ticket and was offloaded by the TTR, the train did not move until he was allowed back into his compartment. Navalar appealed to the British government for permission to enter Jiva Samadhi and did so on the 29th of October 1929, which is well documented. This Jiva Samadhi can still be found off Harrington Road in Chetpet. Peyarvar, one of the 12 Arvars, is said to be an incarnation of Vishnu's sword, Nandakam. He got this name due to his ghostly devotion to Lord Vishnu. Peyarvar is among the first 3 Arvars who were divine beings, and the 100 hymns rendered by him forms the Moondram Tiruvandadi of the Nalayara Divya Prabandham. On the Sadayam star in the month of Aipasi, Peyarvar appeared in the Mani Kairavini tank, which is now a well on a red lily flower. The Mudalazhvars are said to have witnessed the divine presence of Lord Thiruvikrama in Tirukkoilur in sage Mrigandu Maharishi's ashram, where in the light of the lamp of devotion lit by Poigai and Bhudatazhvars, Peyalvar sang Tirukanden, Ponmeni Kanden, describing his vision of the Lord. Every year on the Aipasi Sadayam day, garlands, tulasi, parivattam and prasadam from the Parthasarathi temple are offered to Peyalvar at his Avatara Sthala. On the third day of the festival, the Tirukkovilur Utsavam happens, where the Mudalazhvars are taken in procession in the same Chapparam, and the Lord Vishnu appears before them in Garuda Vahana. The Peyalvar Avatara Sthalam is in Arundale Street in Mylapore. Thiruvalluvar is said to have lived between the 2nd and the 8th century CE. While it is popularly believed that he was born in Mylapore, there are also some claims that he was originally from Kanyakumari and migrated to Mylapore to work as a weaver. Yet another claim is that he was a poet in Madurai and his Tirukural had been accepted by the Tamil Sangam. There are several theories floating around that he was Jain, Buddhist, Christian and Hindu. It is believed that the original temple in this site was built by his peer, Elo Langar. The Thiruvalluvar temple in Mylapore is managed by the Tamil Nadu government and was renovated in the year 1970. In the sanctum, he is found squatting in Padmasana with Chinmudra, Japamala and a manuscript, and there is also a separate lingam in another shrine. His wife Vasuki also occupies a shrine for herself. The tree under which he is supposed to have been born is found within the complex with images of his parents Adi and Bhagavan. His Guru Puja is commemorated during the Uttaram star in the Tamil month of Masi, and a Kalyana Utsavam is conducted during Chitra Paurnami. During the Arubati Moovar festival, Thiruvalluvar and his wife Vasuki are brought in a procession to the Kapalishwara temple, and they also participate in the procession. This temple is found in Thiruvalluvar Koil Street in Mylapore. The Tiruvannamalai Kundrakudi Adinam is among the 18 Suddha Saiva Adinams that follow the Tirukailaya Parambare. It was started by Mahasannidhanam Sri Deiva Sikamani Desika Gurumurti Swamigal, a disciple of Arunandi Shivacharya in 1310 CE. The 38th Pontiff Periya Arumuga Desigar gave all the responsibility of running the Adinam to Sabhapati Swamigal, who lived in Mylapore about 250 years ago. He was an Upasaka of Lord Muruga who had appeared before him and was very well known for his healing powers. In 1864, Sabhapati Swamigal patronized Yalpanam Arumuga Navalar, who wrote the Mailai Sthala Puranam here. Even now, the priest says that he can feel the breathing presence of Sabhapati Swamigal within his samadhi, and sometimes he also says he moves about when the fragrance of agarbatti and the flowers are felt. Sabhapati Swamigal's Guru Puja is celebrated in the month of March, and this temple can be accessed through the car park of Karpagam International in South Mada Street or through Adam Street around the corner. Kulandevel Swamigal was the guru of Chidambaram Periya Swamigal, who renovated the Dandishwara temple in Velacheri. He belonged to the Thurayur Veerasaiva Math, and in the lineage of Kumaradeva was fed the Abhishekam milk by goddess Virutambigai herself at Virudhachalam. The Veerasaiva cult worships Veerabhadra Swami. His disciple Muttaya Swamigal, whose samadhi is also found here, is found below the Nandi. Nothing much is known about Muttaya Swamigal, and since he wanted to keep looking at his guru all the time, a Nandi has been installed over his samadhi. This temple with both samadhis is found in Chitrakulam West Street behind JDP Guild building. Appar Swamigal lived in Mylapore in the 19th century. He spent all his life in pujas and meditation. It is said that an Englishman who happened to see him humiliated him, but on reaching home, he became paralyzed. The worried Englishman was taken back to Appar Swamigal and he begged for pardon. Appar Swami accepted his apology and asked him for a place to attain Jiva Samadhi. The Englishman at once granted his request, and today the temple is situated in a 10-ground campus. On 25th of June 1851, Appar Swami attained Samadhi, and his disciple Chidambara Swami built a shrine for him the next year. This temple is situated in Roypeta High Road in Las. Neminatha is the 22nd Tirthankara in Jainism. According to Jain beliefs, he lived 84,000 years before the 23rd Tirthankara, Parshvanatha. He is a legendary figure who is believed to have lived for 1,000 years and is also believed to be the cousin of Krishna, and in his iconography he is depicted holding the conch. In ancient times, there was a temple for Neminatha in Mylapore. This temple has been described in the Tirunootrandadi by Avarodhi Alvar. Similarly, works like Tirukkalambagam, Mylapore Padthupadigam, Mylapore Neminatha Swami Padigam, and Neminadam all narrate this temple. It was right next to where the Santhom Cathedral now stands, which is currently part of the Bishop's Gardens. However, as this temple got ravished by the sea, the idols were moved to Male Sittamur. Syed Shah Badruddin belonged to the Bijapur Sultanate, and he was a part of the Golconda cavalry, which was commanded by Mir Jumla, fighting against the Portuguese at Santhom. The Portuguese, sensing defeat, started running away from the fort. This time, Badruddin alighted from his horse, scaled up the wall of the fort, went to the flag post and replaced the Portuguese flag with the Golconda flag. While he was coming down, he was attacked by a Portuguese soldier who managed to sever off his head. The legend has it that Badruddin held his fallen head, got onto his horse, made his way to Pallavaram, where he finally collapsed. He came to be regarded as a saint and was buried at the place where his head finally fell. The Hazrat Syed Badruddin Shahid Dargah on Dargah Road in Pallavaram is where his mortal remains are found along with his brother and mother, and outside the Dargah are the remains of his horse and his pet dog. The word Santhom or Saint Thom is derived from Saint Thomas. He is said to have been martyred in 72 AD at St. Thomas Mount in the city and was interred in Mylapore. The Santhom Basilica is one of the 3 churches that have been built over a tomb of an apostle, and this version was built in the 16th century by Portuguese explorers. In 1893, it was rebuilt by the British as a church in Neo-Gothic style, and that is what we get to see today. The Portuguese named the settlement around the Betuma as San Thome de Mylapore after the saint. While some of the relics are still found in this cathedral, many of them have been moved out of India. This was a brief overview of the tapestry of saints found across Mylapore. I look forward to connecting with you on another episode in this series. Thank you.